Hey friends, I want to talk about a concept from strategy that I've pretty deeply internalized that's been really useful to me and I hope will be useful to you too. This is the concept of the orthodox and the unorthodox. And the idea is that in any competitive domain, whether it's sports or the military or business or something else, you need a combination of both the orthodox and the unorthodox to succeed. So a simple example would be in the domain of cars and the automobile industry. Tesla is doing very well. I don't know the exact business numbers or whatever, but there are Teslas everywhere when 5-6 years ago there weren't. And part of that is because I think they have this mastered in that, of course, they have orthodox things like a car to succeed needs wheels, and it needs a steering wheel, and it needs windows, and it needs doors, and it needs seatbelts. You just need those things to have a safe, functional, effective car. And of course, they have those things, but they also have a number of unorthodox things, unexpected things that their competition doesn't have. Like, for example, I believe there's a bioweapon defense mode in Tesla cars where it can do some kind of air filtration. And I've never heard of a Toyota or a Nissan or whatever having a bioweapon defense mode. And of course, there's a bunch of other features that other cars don't necessarily have. And that makes the car unique. That makes the car appealing to people. Now, if they just had those things, but not the seatbelts, not the wheels, then it wouldn't be successful as a car. You can't just have the unorthodox things, but you also need the orthodox standard things. So similarly, in the military, for example, if you were running an army, you need things like weapons and supply lines and rations and troops. Those are just things you need to succeed as an army. But then you also need unexpected things that surprise the enemy. So maybe you poison the enemy's water supply, or you use a weapon in some surprising way, or you hack into their computers, right? Those would all be things that could potentially surprise and disrupt the enemy. And you can't just do that. You can't just poison their water supply or hack into them. You also need to be able to defeat them practically with your troops and your weapons and so on, who need to be fed and housed and all of that, who need to be trained. But a combination of orthodox and unorthodox is what succeeds in a competitive domain. So with my projects at the Service Guild, for example, we're not necessarily competing with other people. We aren't a business. We're not trying to outcompete people, but this is something that I think about. So, for example, in the love department, we have things like guided meditations and a weekly event and recordings of the meditations. And I wrote a book, right? The Path of Love. Those are all orthodox things that you would expect of a loving kindness meditation teacher, of a group that is devoted to spreading loving kindness in the world. But then we also have unorthodox things, like, for example, our metta dance parties. We've run, 10 or 12 of these over the years and do them in different cities throughout America. And people, when they hear about it, they're like, "Ooh, what's that? What's a metta dance party?" Or, "I'd love to go to that. I want to go to that." And it's pretty easy to get 30, 50, 80 people at a metta dance party where they're excited about coming, because it's different than other dance events. It's different than other loving kindness events. It's different than other meditation group events. It's unique, it's surprising, it's unexpected. And so that's an advantage, and it makes it easier to market. It makes it easy for us to attract people who want to come. It makes it a compelling offer right off the gate. And so having this combination of orthodox and unorthodox makes us successful. And so this is something that we think about across the departments, across the Service Guild. It's something I often think about with all of my service projects. It's also something that I think about with my friends when my friends are working on projects. Sometimes I'll offer this as a frame of, "Oh, what are you doing that's unorthodox? And is there something unusual that you can do that no one else is doing?" just having this as a frame can often give really important context for thinking about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And sometimes there's a tendency to emphasize the orthodox or the unorthodox, and we just know we need to succeed at both of them. They're both necessary, and neither of them are sufficient on their own. So the combination of mastering the orthodox and the unorthodox, the expected and the unexpected, is a recipe for succeeding in any competitive domain. So I hope this is interesting to you. If you liked this video, then I'll link in the notes my Strategy 101 post, which has a bunch of other important strategy ideas that have been useful to me over the years, and curious how you apply these ideas in your own projects. Take care, friends.